Fourth grade lesson 1.7 is subtracting whole numbers this time. And we do sometimes have to regroup on this just like we did when we added whole numbers. Sometimes it's necessary. Also remember, subtraction is not commutative, meaning it can't go in either order. If it can only go one way, it's very picky. So I want to use the place value chart to kind of point out how things go when you have to regroup. Let me choose a different color for that. Okay, let's say I have to subtract these from each other, and I'm going to start in the ones column because I need to know if I have enough to do what I need to do. So if I have 7 little ones here, what this is asking me to do is take 9 away from them. And there's only 7. If there's 7 sitting here, there's no way for me to take 9 away. There's not enough. I can't do it. And again, subtraction isn't commutative. I can't just flip it around and go, oh, well, then 9 minus 7, then okay. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in subtraction. So I have to go in the right order. I start with 7, and I need to take away 9, and I can't. Well, remember, this over here is 3 rods of 10. So what I'm going to do is go over here and ask my neighbor, the 3 rods of 10, hey, can I have one of those rods of 10? Sure, you can have one. And I will break those into the 10 pieces. And put together with my 7 that were already there, that's a total of 17. Now there's enough, right? And the way we write this is we have it looking like this. I'll make this green. We took this 10 rod and broke it into 10 equal pieces. So we just kind of put it in front of the 7, and that equaled 17. Okay, so we just brought it back. So now we have 17 minus 9. So I can start at 9 and count up to 17 to find the difference between them. Or I can just take 9 away from here, if that makes you feel better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is how much I have left. You can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had mentioned that sometimes when you're subtracting, because I do notice some of my kids are struggling with the subtraction when it's the numbers larger than the amount of fingers you have. And so I totally get it. Subtraction is always finding how far away the number you're taking away is from the bigger number. So you can start at 9 and count up to 17 on your fingers. So we would say 9 and hold our fists out, and then count up to 17 and give a finger for every count up you do. So 9 with my fists, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And you should have 8 fingers there. So you could do that trick if that helps you. Okay, now looking back over here, I had 3, I took 1 away, so now I only have 2, and so you'll usually see us go like that, and then we'd mark that one over there. 2 minus 1 is 1, okay? So that's what's happening with borrowing or regrouping when you're subtracting, and we'll slowly get the hang of this. If you don't already, you may already have the hang of this, but we'll get this practiced, and you'll get it as we go. Okay, and it's always good to do these to practice with the word problems too, so we get over some of our fears we have about word problems. They're not the monsters they seem like they are. Let's read this. I always tell my students, first step, read the whole thing. Then we'll underline the question. Mount Bear and Mount Bona are 2 mountains in Alaska. Mount Bear is 14,831 feet tall, and Mount Bona is 16,421 feet tall. How much taller is Mount Bona than Mount Bear? We'll underline the question. How much taller is Mount Bona than Mount Bear? Then let's go ahead and circle the information they provided to us. We know that Mount Bear is 14,831 feet tall, and Mount Bona is 16,421 feet tall. When we're asked how much taller or how much shorter or what is the difference between, those sorts of things should spark in our head that we're looking to find the difference or subtract. So we're subtracting Mount Bear from Mount Bona, or Mount Bona from Mount Bear. In this case, we're looking at how much taller Mount Bona is, so we're going to start with the height of Mount Bona. It's the taller one. We want to start with the taller one and find out how much the lesser one is. Mount Bear is 14,831. And we want to find out how much taller that one is, or the difference between them, and that is subtract. Now first, I want to go ahead and find the difference of the estimate, just so I can make sure I'm getting the right number here. And normally we've been rounding to the greatest value, so to the one would be here and one would be here. But since these are both the same value, I don't know that we're going to get a real accurate picture. So instead, I'm going to round to the thousands place on both of these instead. Okay, so from here, I have this 6. The neighbor is a 4. That is a stay number, so it will tell the 6 to stay the same. So it will be 16000. 16000. And on this one, I have a 4. His neighbor is the 8. That is an up number. So he says to the 4, you need to go up. And so 4 will go up to become a 5. So this will be 15000. 15000. And now when I subtract those, as you can see, I'm going to be left with just 1,000. So my answer when I subtract these should be somewhere close to 1,000. Now let's go ahead and do the subtraction. We'll start with the ones place. If I have one piece of candy, can you take one away from me? Is there enough for you to take? Yeah, there is. I would have none left though, wouldn't I? So there's that. If I have 2 pieces of candy, is there enough for you to take 3 away from me? No, there isn't, right? I need more. So I'm going to go to my neighbor's house. He's got 4 packages of those. So I'm going to take one of those packages, and so he'll only be left with 3 now. And I'm going to break those. There's 10 in a package. So I'll break those into their 10 different pieces and add them to the 2 I already had. So 10 plus 2 is 12. And 12 minus 3 is what I'm going to do there. You could start at 3 with your fists and count up to 12 and see how many fingers get you there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You probably got 9 fingers showing there. Now I have 3 and I need to take 8 away from it. I do not have enough. And remember, I can't do, 8 minus 3 instead then, because subtraction is not commutative. It can't be flipped around. So I only have 3 and you're wanting to take 8. I'm going to go get a package from my neighbor. He has 6, but now only 5. I broke that package into its 10 pieces, added it to the 3 I had. That's 13. 13 minus 8. So I can start at 8 with my fists, count up to 13. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 minus 8 is 5. 5. If I have 5 and you need to take 4, I have enough for you to take away, and I'll still have 1 left. And then, of course, 1, take away 1 is 0. I can put it there or leave it off. 1,590 is pretty close to 1,000, so my answer is reasonable. This is saying that Mount Bona is 1,590 feet taller than Mount Bear. Look how pretty that is. This is Mount Bear and Mount Bona in the St. Elias Mountain Range. Very, very pretty. Okay, I have 14,659, and I want to subtract from it 11,584. This one doesn't have a story. Let me give it a story. Mrs. Sanchez has $14,659. Mr. Bravo has $11,584. How much more money does Mrs. Sanchez have than Mr. Bravo? How much more is going to be a subtract question, right? We want the difference. Or how much less money does Mr. Bravo have than Mrs. Sanchez? Those, we're finding the difference between the two, how far apart they are, okay? We'll start by estimating. And so again, I notice here that these values are the same, so I may not get a real accurate estimate if I compare those rounded. So I'm going to move over here to the thousands place. That's where I'm going to round to. All right. 4's neighbor is the 6, and that's an up number, so this will go up. It's going to be a 5. So I will have 15000. And here I have the 1. I go to his neighbor. That is a 5. That's an up number, so he tells the 1 to go up to become a 2. So this will be 12000. And when I subtract those, they subtract nice and easily. My answer should be somewhere around 3,000-ish. I should have somewhere around 3,000-ish more dollars than Mr. Bravo. Let's see if that comes out reasonably. We start in the ones column. 9, take away 4. If I have 9, you're able to take 4 from me. I will still have 5 left. If I have 5, you are unable to take 8 from me. I do not have enough. So I'm going to go next door to my neighbor. He has 6 packages. Now I'm going to take one, so he'll only have 5. I open the package and break it into its 10 pieces, put it with my 5 pieces, and that's 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. 5 minus 5. Oh, if I have 5 and you want to take 5, there's enough. I just won't have any left. 4. If I have 4 and you want to take 1, you can take the 1 and I will still have 3 left. And the answer is, oh, and then of course 1 take away 1 is 0. My brain automatically wanted to skip that. That will happen to you as time goes on. You'll recognize that you can ignore things. My answer is 3,075, which is reasonably close to 3,000. I have 3,075 more dollars than Mr. Bravo. We'll practice one or two more, and then there's another piece to this lesson that I want to talk to you about. This one is 456,912 minus 37,800. Real important that our ones columns line up, our tens columns line up, our hundreds columns and over. It doesn't have a story. Let's give it a story. Mr. Montano has 456,912 pencils in his classroom. That's a lot. Mrs. Sanchez has 37,800 pencils in her classroom. How many more pencils does Mr. Montano have than Mrs. Sanchez, or how many less pencils does Mrs. Sanchez have than Mr. Montano? That's the type of question that subtraction will be. How many more than, how many less than, what's the difference between? Those are subtraction sorts of words. Okay, let's estimate first to find out about how many more Mr. Montano has than I do. Notice this doesn't have this one doesn't have a value here. So I'm going to go ahead and just round to this value. I'm going to decide to round to this value instead. So the 10,000th place is where I'm going to round both of these to get a pretty clear answer about how much the difference is. I will look at the neighbor for the 5. It is a 6. That is an up number, so this is going to go from a 5 up to a 6, and I will have 4, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0. And on this one, this is a 3. I'm going to look at his neighbor. That is a 7, an up number. So he tells 3 to go up to a 4, and I will have 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0. And when I subtract that, that's done very quickly and easily. We should see the answer of how many more pencils Mr. Montano has than I do at 420,000. I don't even know where he keeps all those pencils. It must take up his whole classroom. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the subtraction, starting in the ones place. I have 2, and you don't want to take any from me, so I am still going to have 2. I have 1, and you don't want to take any from me, so I am still going to have 1. I have 9, and you want to take 8 from me. Oh, that's cool. I have enough to give you, and I'm still going to have 1 left. I have 6, and you want to take 7 from me. Oh, no, I don't have enough for you to take. I'll go next door. I will ask 5 for one of their packages. They will only have 4 packages left. I will break that package up into the 10 pieces that it is and add it to my 6 that's there for 16. 16 subtract 7. I'm going to count my fingers starting at 7. And then count up 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That gave me 9 fingers. 4, subtract 3. If I have 4, you're able to take 3, and I will still have 1 left. And then, of course, 4 minus nothing. You're not taking any away from me. I'm still going to have 4 left. The actual answer is 419,112 more pencils than Mrs. Sanchez has. Mr. Montano has that many more pencils. 419,000 is very close to our estimate answer of 420,000. So that is definitely reasonable. Okay, let's practice one more, and then we'll look at that other thing I wanted to talk about. We have 407,001. Subtract 184,652. This one doesn't have a story either. We can't leave Mr. Mora out, so let's go with Mr. Mora. What would Mr. Mora have in his classroom? Mr. Mora keeps little water bottles for himself in his classroom. I mean, 407,000 is a ridiculous amount, but that's what came to my head, so we're going to go with it. Mr. Mora has 407,001 water bottles in his classroom, and Mrs. Sanchez only has 184,652 water bottles in her classroom. How many more water bottles in Mr. Mora's class are there than in Mrs. Sanchez's class? Or how many less water bottles does Mrs. Sanchez have than Mr. Mora? Or what is the difference between the amount of water bottles Mr. Mora has and the amount of water bottles Mrs. Sanchez has? All of those would give you the hint that, oh, I need to find the difference between them, and that is subtract. If we had that many water bottles in our classroom, you would not be able to walk in, by the way. There's just way too much. That's a lot. But anyways, just for funsies, just because I couldn't think of anything smaller. Anyways, okay, let's do the estimate. Since these values are different, I'm going to go ahead and round to that 100,000th place value. Okay, we will look at his neighbor. It's a 0. That's a stay number. 4 stays that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros afterwards. And this is a 1, but his neighbor is an 8, and that's an up number. Tells the 1 to go up to a 2, and I'll have a 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and subtract. So Mr. Mora has around 200,000 more bottles of water in his classroom than I have. I don't know, we need sailors or something out in the back to hold all those water bottles or something. Okay, let's do the actual subtraction. If I have 1, are you able to take 2 from me? Nope. Okay, let's go to my neighbor. Oh no, but my neighbor doesn't have enough. So he's going to go to his neighbor. Oh no, but his neighbor doesn't have enough. So he's got to go to his neighbor. Finally, a neighbor that has some packages. There's 7 packages here. We're going to take 1 and break it up into those pieces. Now remember, we're going to have to spill it all the way over. So now he has 10. He still needs 1 package. So now he has 10 packages. We'll take 1, that's 9. He breaks it up. Now he has 10 packages. So we can take 1 of those to give that 11. So sometimes you have to go to several neighbors and then just work your way back. Now that we've cleaned that up, this is 11 subtract 2. You can start at 2 and count up to 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is 9. Now we have 9 subtract 5. I have 9 and you're taking 5 away from me, which means I'm still going to have 4 left. I have 9 and you're going to take 6 away from me. 9 minus 6 is 3. I have 6 and you're going to take 4 away from me. I will have 2 left. I have 0 and you want to take 8. Oh no. All right, let's go to our neighbor. 10 minus 8 is 2. And 3 minus 1 is 2. 222,349 more water bottles in Mr. Mora's class than in my class. And that's how you do that. I hope that made pretty good sense to you. You practice some, and you may mess up, and that's okay. Practice. And if you need help, just let me know. Let's look at that other thing. There's a numbers 12, 13, and 14 get a little bit interesting. So we'll look at those. And this looks really scary at first, this unknown number in there, like what's going on? But when you reason it through, when you trust yourself and kind of settle down and calm down and breathe, you can start to kind of go, oh, okay, let me just do the steps and I'll see it. So let's do the steps like we know how. We have a 2, and you want to take 5 away. Well, you can't, so I will borrow just the steps we've been doing all this time. 12 minus 5 is, of course, 7, and that's what they got. Now, all we need to do is find out what goes here. This is a 2, and we're going to take an amount away. We don't know the amount. However, we do know that when we're done, it will be 0. What's the only number that can go here? 2 minus what number gives me 0? Right, 2 minus 2 does. And so we're done. That's it. That's all you have to do. And that was an easy one. They put it right in the beginning for us. Let's look at number 13. Okay, our missing number is here now, so we're going to have to work all these numbers through. Oh, I forgot the total. Hold on. That puzzle would have been tough to solve without the pieces of information we needed. Now we have it. We had 5, take away 0, and we ended up with 5, correct. We have 6, we took away 2, and ended up with 4, correct. We had 6, they took away 4, we ended up with 2, correct. We have 8, we cannot take away 9, So we have to go to the neighbor, which, problem, he doesn't have any. So he has to go to his neighbor. This is going to take some thinking to ponder. He is going to take this guy is going to take 1 from him. And whatever after that 1 is taken away, this guy's going to take 6 away and we'll be left with 1. So in order to be left with 1, this needs to be a 7. But remember, because 7 minus 6 is 1. But remember, this guy still needs to take his 1 away. So this one must have been an 8. And then let's double check. Let's go through and make sure that worked. Now we will take that away and get 7. 10 minus 5. Oh, we can't do that yet. He needed to take 1 here for 18. 18 minus 9 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. And 7 minus 6 is 1. This one took a little more thinking, but we didn't give up and we kept going. So good job on that. Number 14, I'm going to leave for you to try on your own. That's the only twist in these lessons. And then there's some word problems, which I believe you can handle. Hope you're believing in yourself now too. Good luck.